What if everything you thought you knew about ancient history was missing a massive, powerful piece? What if the story we've been told in classrooms is incomplete, leaving out entire continents of innovation, wealth, and power? Today, we're peeling back the layers of conventional history to reveal the forgotten empires of ancient Africa. These weren't just kingdoms. They were titans of trade, art, and intellectualism, whose legacies have often been sidelined or completely erased from mainstream narratives. Get ready to discover a side of global history you've never been taught, and see the world in a whole new light. For too long, the narrative has been that ancient history belongs to Europe and the Near East. We hear about Rome, Greece, and Egypt. But what about the rest of the world's second-largest continent? There's a pervasive misconception of Africa as a land without significant ancient civilizations, a dark continent waiting to be discovered. This couldn't be further from the truth. Traditional historical accounts, often written from a colonial perspective, have deliberately sidelined or completely omitted the stories of powerful African empires. But today, we're rewriting that script. We're going to uncover stories of breathtaking innovation, unimaginable wealth, and profound influence that completely defy the common stereotypes. This isn't just about correcting the record. It's about reclaiming a vital part of our shared human story. Let's begin our journey in West Africa, a region that echoed with the footsteps of greatness. Forget what you think you know about wealth, because we need to talk about the Mali Empire. At its helm was Mansa Musa, a man whose riches were so vast, they're often described as incomprehensible. His legendary pilgrimage to Mecca in the 14th century was so lavish. His spending of gold actually destabilized the economies of the regions he passed through for years. But Mali wasn't just about gold. It was home to Timbuktu, a legendary intellectual and spiritual hub. Its university and libraries housed hundreds of thousands of manuscripts on everything from law and astronomy to mathematics and medicine, making it one of the world's greatest centers of learning. As the Mali Empire waned, another power rose in its place: the magnificent Songhai Empire. Building upon the foundations Mali had laid, Songhai grew to become one of the largest empires in African history. Its cities were marvels of architectural planning, and its society was intricately structured with a sophisticated bureaucracy and a powerful, professional army. The rulers of Songhai controlled vital trans-Saharan trade routes, commanding a flow of gold, salt, and knowledge that connected West Africa to Europe and the Middle East. And we can't talk about West African brilliance without mentioning the Benin Kingdom. Located in what is now modern-day Nigeria, this kingdom was renowned for its political sophistication and its formidable military, but its most famous legacy is its art. The Benin bronzes are masterpieces of metallurgical skill, intricate cast, plaques, and sculptures that decorated the royal palace. These artworks weren't just decorative, they were historical records, chronicling the kingdom's history, its spiritual beliefs, and the might of its abbas, or kings. The level of artistry and technical skill displayed in these bronzes was so high that when Europeans first encountered them, they refused to believe they could have been made by Africans. A blatant example of the historical bias we're here to correct. Now, let's travel east, to the crossroads of power, where Africa met the wider world. Here we find the kingdom of Aksum, a powerhouse that flourished in modern-day Ethiopia and Eritrea. Aksum was a major player on the international stage, controlling vast trade networks that stretched from the Roman Empire to India. Its ports on the Red Sea bustled with merchants trading ivory, spices, and precious metals. Aksum also holds a unique place in history as one of the first major empires in the world to officially adopt Christianity, minting its own coins and developing its own written script. Its monumental stele, giant carved obelisks, marking the tombs of its rulers, still stand today as silent testaments to its engineering prowess and former glory. Further south, shrouded in mystery and grandeur, lies Great Zimbabwe. For centuries, the origins of this massive stone city were debated by colonial historians who, again, could not accept that local African people were capable of such architectural feats. They proposed theories involving everyone from the Queen of Sheba to Phoenician traders. But archaeology has proven them wrong. Great Zimbabwe was the capital of a powerful indigenous Shona kingdom that thrived between the 11th and 15th centuries. Its massive, mortarless stone walls and conical towers are a breathtaking sight, a testament to a sophisticated society that grew rich from cattle herding and trading gold on the Indian Ocean. And speaking of the Indian Ocean, its shores were lined with the vibrant Swahili cities like Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar were not a single empire, but a collection of independent and prosperous trading hubs. Here, a unique and beautiful culture emerged, a fusion of African Bantu traditions, with influences from Arab, Persian, and Indian merchants. This cultural melting pot gave birth to the Swahili language and a distinctive architectural style. These city-states became the gatekeepers of the Indian Ocean trade, connecting the African interior with Asia and creating a cosmopolitan world of incredible wealth and cultural exchange that lasted for centuries. So, what happened to these mighty empires? Their stories didn't just end. They evolved. The legacy of these civilizations is etched into the very fabric of modern Africa. It lives on in languages spoken by millions, in cultural practices passed down through generations, and in the profound sense of identity and pride that comes from knowing this history. The intellectual traditions of Timbuktu, the artistic heritage of Benin, and the trade networks of the Swahili coast all laid the groundwork for the continent we see today. And as archaeologists uncover new sites and scholars reinterpret old texts, our understanding of global history is constantly being reshaped. This isn't just African history. It's world history. The call now is to integrate these essential narratives into our books, our classrooms, and our collective consciousness, to create a more holistic and accurate view of human civilization. As we look beyond the sands of time, we realize how critically important it is to preserve these historical sites and this cultural heritage. They are irreplaceable libraries of human experience, holding lessons for all of us. But this video is just the beginning. I encourage you to be curious, to dig deeper, and to question the historical narratives. UBB and Giban explore the works of African historians, visit museums, and support organizations dedicated to preserving these incredible sites. The power of rediscovered history is that it doesn't just change our view of the past, it inspires our future. It shows us the heights of human ingenuity and reminds us that our stories, from every corner of the globe, are interconnected. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through Africa's forgotten empires. I hope it's opened your eyes to a richer, more complex version of our shared past. If you found this fascinating, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the histories you were never taught. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. See you next time.